When fans first tuned in to Outlander back in 2014, many of them were swept away not only by the sweeping historical romance of Claire and Jamie but by the undeniable chemistry between the two leads, Sam Heughan and Caitríona Balfe. For years, viewers blurred the line between character and actor, convinced that no two people could portray such devotion on screen without sharing something off-screen. And now, as the series nears its conclusion, a swirl of rumors has transformed admiration into scandal. Whispers of a love triangle involving Sam, Caitríona, and a mysterious third figure have taken on a life of their own. The storm really began on social media. Fan accounts devoted to shipping Sam and Caitríona have existed for years, posting endless montages of stolen glances, subtle smiles, and behind-the-scenes clips that seem to suggest an intimacy far deeper than friendship. But what had once been playful speculation hardened into accusations when tabloids began linking Sam to a woman outside the industry, claiming that his silence on the matter hinted at something secret. For some fans, this was the confirmation they needed. Their beloved Jamie Fraser wasn't caught between battles on the moor, but between two women in real life. Why Caitríona was dragged into the frenzy isn't difficult to understand. She and Sam have always shared an ease in interviews, finishing each other's sentences, laughing at private jokes, leaning toward one another in ways that camera lenses love to magnify. To many, their body language told a story that words never could. And when Sam, in multiple interviews, described Caitríona as his best friend, confidant, and partner in crime, fans heard more than friendship. They heard echoes of Jamie's declarations of love to Claire. The trouble is that Caitríona has been married since 2019 to music producer Tony McGill. She has spoken warmly about her husband, shared occasional photographs, and insisted that her life off-screen is grounded, private, and far removed from the world of Outlander gossip. Yet her marriage has not shielded her from suspicion. If anything, the existence of her husband has only intensified the speculation. In the minds of the most fervent fans, Tony became the invisible rival in a story they were determined to write: Sam, Caitríona, and the man who stood in the way. The tabloids, never one to resist a juicy headline, amplified the noise. Photos of Sam with female companions, sometimes co-stars, sometimes anonymous figures, were splashed across gossip columns. When combined with images of Caitríona standing proudly beside her husband at premieres, the narrative of a love triangle practically wrote itself. Suddenly, every glance between Sam and Caitríona was recast as forbidden, every laugh as guilty, every moment of closeness as evidence of something hidden. The fandom divided. Some fans fiercely defended Caitríona, insisting she should be left out of the speculation and respected as a married woman. Others doubled down, declaring that her marriage was a facade, a shield against the truth of her feelings for Sam. "You can see it in their eyes," wrote one fan on Twitter. "No one looks at a co-star like that unless there's more." For Caitríona, being dragged into the narrative has been exhausting. Though she often handles questions with grace, her frustration has occasionally shown. In interviews, when asked about her chemistry with Sam, she has reminded journalists that she is an actress playing a role, that her job is to make viewers believe. Yet no matter how often she repeats herself, her words seem to fall on deaf ears. The image of her as Claire Fraser is too strong, and in the eyes of many, she and Sam are bound together whether they want to be or not. Sam, for his part, has only fueled the speculation by staying vague. He praises Caitríona as his partner in the journey of Outlander, acknowledges their bond as extraordinary, and then retreats behind a wall of privacy. He neither confirms nor denies the rumors, leaving fans to fill the silence with their own fantasies. And in that vacuum, the idea of a love triangle has flourished. It doesn't matter that the evidence is flimsy, that the so-called third woman remains unidentified, that Caitríona has repeatedly affirmed her marriage. What matters is the story fans want to believe. In a way, it is the ultimate compliment to Sam and Caitríona's performances. They have so convincingly embodied Jamie and Claire that people cannot separate them from the characters. But it is also the ultimate curse, because what was once admiration has turned into scandal, dragging real lives into a narrative they never agreed to play. And so the question lingers, whispered in forums and shouted in headlines. Is this love triangle real, or is it the fever dream of fans who cannot let go of Jamie and Claire? For Caitríona Balfe, the rumors have become more than just a nuisance. They are a recurring shadow cast over both her professional and personal life. No matter how many times she insists that her marriage to Tony McGill is her reality, not a cover story, the speculation refuses to die. Interviews that should have been about her craft, her activism, or her future projects are often hijacked by thinly veiled questions about Sam Heughan. And while she answers with poise, there is often a flicker of irritation in her tone, a reminder that the boundaries between fiction and reality have been stretched to the breaking point. She has been clear. Her relationship with Sam is one of deep friendship, forged over more than a decade of working side by side on one of television's most demanding and intimate dramas. They have leaned on each other through grueling filming schedules, through the pressures of fame, through the intrusive glare of the spotlight. But friendship is not romance, and Caitríona has pushed back against fans who seem determined to rewrite her reality into a script of their own making. "We are actors," she once said, her voice firm. "Our job is to make you believe." Still, her words have not stopped the tabloids. When paparazzi photographs of Sam with other women surface, the gossip machine spins them into fuel for the love triangle narrative. One week he is linked to an actress, the next to a London socialite, the next to an unnamed mystery woman. Each time, Caitríona's name is dragged back into the conversation, not because of any action of her own, but because the press knows that headlines pairing her with Sam sell better than any straightforward truth. For every denial, there is another insinuation. For every declaration of friendship, another round of whispers that something more must be hidden beneath the surface. Sam's silence only adds to the fire. He rarely addresses his love life directly, deflecting with charm or humor. He praises Caitríona in glowing terms, extraordinary, my partner through it all, the heart of Outlander, but he never steps beyond the safe line of friendship. And yet, that very vagueness feeds the imagination of fans who want to believe there is more. To them, every pause, every smile, every carefully chosen word becomes a clue. The fandom itself is now split. On one side are those who defend Sam and Caitríona fiercely, insisting that they deserve respect and privacy. These fans argue that dragging Caitríona into unverified scandals is unfair, not just to her but to her husband. On the other side are the true believers, the shippers, who remain convinced that Sam and Caitríona are soulmates trapped in a love triangle, their feelings hidden from the world by circumstance and secrecy. Online battles between the two sides can grow vicious, with insults, harassment, and accusations flung back and forth in comment sections and fan forums. The cost of this obsession is real. Caitríona's husband has been mocked, minimized, and dismissed by those who refuse to accept her marriage as genuine. Women linked to Sam, whether by rumor, paparazzi photos, or simple friendship, often become targets of harassment, receiving hateful messages from people who feel betrayed by the idea that Sam might love anyone other than Caitríona. And Sam himself, the man at the center of it all, is caught in a bind. To speak out risks angering one side of the fandom. To remain silent is to let the rumors grow unchecked. What emerges is a story less about romance and more about the dangers of fame. Outlander blurred the line between fiction and reality so effectively that some fans cannot let go of Jamie and Claire. They want the fairy tale to be real, and when confronted with evidence that it is not, they rewrite the narrative into something even more dramatic. A secret love, a forbidden relationship, a triangle that explains everything. In this way, Sam and Caitríona are no longer just actors. They have become characters in a drama written by the audience itself. The irony is sharp. Outlander was built on the idea of love transcending time, love defying history, love that could never be broken. And yet the devotion of fans to Jamie and Claire has created fractures in real life, leaving scars on the very people who brought that love story to life. Caitríona, dragged unwillingly into endless rumors, has seen her marriage questioned. Sam, bound by silence, has had his integrity doubted. And the fandom itself, once united by passion for a story, is now divided by scandal. Whether the so-called love triangle ever truly existed may never be known. Perhaps it is nothing more than smoke, a mirage conjured by gossip and the blurred boundaries of celebrity. Or perhaps, as some insist, there are truths hidden in the shadows, truths the public will never see. Either way, the damage has been done. The story has taken on a life of its own, shaping reputations, straining relationships, and reminding everyone that fame is never free. Outlander will one day fade into television history, but the rumors, the speculation, and the myth of Sam Heughan's love life may linger far longer. And in the end, that may be the cruelest twist of all. The roles of Jamie and Claire will eventually end, but the imagined drama of Sam and Caitríona's so-called love triangle may never stop haunting them.